tends to be a pretty planned person. I keep a schedule, I keep a calendar, I keep a Google Calendar with lots of reminders so that I show up to where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. And as a pastor, I know that I need space in my schedule because people show up. Different needs arise. Sometimes it's that I need to go to the hospital to see somebody that I didn't know was there or that has just gone to the hospital. Sometimes somebody loses somebody they've loved, and so I need to show up to be there in their grief and in their sorrow. Sometimes people stop by my office. Sometimes it's strangers who come to us as a church seeking help from the church, and there needs to be time. So as much as I plan and as busy as people find me to be, I do create space so that I can hopefully be present when people arrive. And in recent weeks and months, we've had lots of people just stop into the church, some seeking help for a particular need and some simply just here. And I am grateful that the lessons of scripture and encountering people as if they were Christ, the passage that we hear in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 25, where there's some criticism, condemnation, even for those who have not fed the hungry or clothed the naked or visited the sick or those who are imprisoned, and then an affirmation from Jesus for those who have done those things. And they're like, well, when did we do that for you? And Jesus says, whatever you have done to the least of these, you have done unto me. And so seeing each person as an opportunity to maybe encounter the holy helps me stay open. Sometimes I don't want to. I don't have the energy, I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have the compassion reserves, whatever it might be. And I remember that often I might be just entertaining the presence of Jesus. And there's another passage that comes from the book of Romans chapter 13, and it says this: let mutual love continue. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing that, some have entertained angels without knowing it. One of the simplest things I learned to do early in my ministry career was offer a cup of coffee, especially working with those who are unhoused and living on the streets. Having a clean place, a proper place to go to the bathroom, and having something hot to drink, to warm up, or maybe just a coffee in the morning, is a kind of grace all on its own. So often when somebody comes to the church without a set agenda, but they're just kind of here, my first step is to say, what's your name? And my second is, would you like a cup of coffee? And that verse from Hebrews resonates. Never hesitate in entertaining strangers, because you might not know when you're entertaining angels. Some people are a gift. Maybe there's a divine appointment, a holy learning that we don't quite understand. And we have an opportunity to encounter the holy in our day. And maybe they're just somebody who wants to be seen and known and recognized. Somebody who might appreciate a hot cup of coffee, a warm smile, a friendly person. We can't always do a lot for people, especially when their problems are immense. Lack of housing, lack of ID, lack of access, stuck in addiction, dealing with mental health problem, lack of health care or insurance, or all those things that can be very debilitating. And yet, we can be present, we can show up, we can offer some humanity. And by doing that with strangers, you never know if you might be entertaining angels. Take care, friends.